Breezy had a single. Interesting. Oh, gracious. Can you push it out? Look at this box of babies. Are we gonna have some babies? I hope so. So I can still feel her ligaments, but that doesn't mean anything. Because I could feel Breezy's ligaments yesterday, and we need to go look at what she did last night. But I need to give these girls some water first. Elsa's due date is tomorrow. Here's the udder situation. Her udder can get bigger, that's for sure. Got a little bit of discharge going on. Elpis, I thought was gonna kid yesterday. She's dropped significantly today. You can see that hollow on her side. She probably has a single in there, but her udder is ginormous, as Elpis does. Looks good. It might be a single buckling in there. We'll see. She's probably not gonna be happy about me checking her. I was right. She's not happy. But both of these girls, technically their due date is tomorrow, but they can go anytime. And so that's why I have them out here. This is my kidding area for my standard does. And I wanted to keep them in kind of the same spot last night so I could watch them on my camera just in case they went into labor in the middle of the night. And in the middle of the night, I turned on my phone to look at the camera, to look in here, and I saw that these girls were fine. They were standing up, chewing their cud, all good. But then I noticed in the corner of the screen, and I'll put an image up here so you can see what my view was like, but I could see Breezy in the corner of the screen with her tail in a funny position. It looked like her tail head had really sunken in. You can kind of see with Elsa right here, there's a sunken in spot on either side of the tail. Sunk here, sunk here. It could get more intense. It will as her labor comes on. But I just had a funny feeling that Breezy was in labor. And we had gotten a lot of rain, and with that rain, a lot of cold air moved in. It was 38 degrees, which is not horrible, but it was also wet. My barn roof has a lot of leaks, and really the more secluded spots kind of down towards the ends of the kidding stalls, just outside the kidding stalls, can get quite wet. And I didn't want her to try to kid out with the herd and potentially try to seclude herself and get in a wet, cold spot. It just wasn't a good thing. So I came down, put her in a stall, saw her chewing her cud, and decided since she's given birth before, I would just leave her in there. And if she kidded by morning, great. Well, she did. So we still have Fury in the front stall. We've got Tizzy in the back stall. Those girls are coming out today. And this is where Breezy gave birth. Hi, Mama. Who do you have there? As I suspected, Breezy had a single in there. Oh, it looks like this buckskin baby has the gopher ears, just like Daddy. Our other buckskin, a little doeling, has elf ears. I don't know if this is a doeling or a buckling yet. It's a girl. Oh, it's a girl. Another girl buckskin. How beautiful. Pretty big. I need to clean her umbilical cord. Hi, darling. Welcome to the world. Oh. Are you pulled? Yes, I forgot Breezy was pulled. This little girl's pulled too. So is the other buckskin. Interesting. As far as I know, everything went well and baby has been nursing. I just want to make sure that she doesn't have any teat plugs. She does not, and this side of her udder, her right side, is more drained, so that's good. I just want to make sure I get iodine on that umbilical cord. That's all I really got to do for this one. Just looking at Breezy's back end while the baby nurses, and it looks like she doesn't have any pieces of placenta or anything hanging out. She looks like she's fully cleaned. I don't see the placenta anywhere on the ground, so she's probably consumed it, which is fine. Yeah, very hands-off birth. I do like that. I feel like I got a freebie here, and I basically did, which is a relief because the births have been kind of intense. There've been some big babies out of these first fresheners needing a little bit of assistance guiding them out, but she appears to have done really well. I know. There we go. Okay, back to what you were doing. Well, good morning. I look like I just woke up because I basically did. Elpis is not in the stall with Elsa right now because they were, well, Elsa was kicking Elvis's butt, and so I stuck her in this smaller stall, which really was not the intention, but I don't really have two super large areas for mamas to birth in. This is my milking area, and it's got things that I don't want goats getting into if I'm not around. I'll sit down there with the mama goat and chaperone things, but not overnight. So anyways, I stuck Elvis in here, woke up to go to the bathroom, noticed she was pushing, and by the time I got down here, she had this little boy out. I do have some footage on my phone, and I'll roll that right here. She's got baby's face all dry already. We barely missed it. Oh, Elvis, that's another baby bubble behind her. So I guess we'll just sit here and watch her. She's doing good. She must have been quiet. Yep. Good job. Bag's on its face. Makes me nervous. But it's still attached. Okay. So, little Swiss girl over here was born second with the bag over her face. And it's not necessarily a problem, especially if the mama gets up and turns around and starts licking the face off. Or if the umbilical cord happens to still be attached. I didn't know. And I was down here already, so I just threw the phone down and cleaned off her face. She did have a little bit of a struggle breathing, and so I'm really glad that I was down here. But right now, they've been born almost an hour and no one has stood up yet. So, tiny bit of a backstory before I get doing what I'm going to do. I noticed in the last couple days of Elvis's pregnancy that she seemed to have weak pasterns on the back. So the pastern is the part on their foot, on their leg, that's right above the hoof. It really should be pretty well up and down. Hers was pretty slanted, and as she walked, it just seemed really gummy and just very, very loose. So my immediate thought was Elvis needs selenium, but I gave her a Bosie injection that was adequate for her size in August, right before breeding. However, that doesn't mean that she doesn't still need it. Some goats seem to really blow through the minerals for whatever reason, and the fact that her kids are kind of having struggles standing is also a sign that they could need selenium. So I'm going to give everybody some selenium today. This is something that I do keep on hand. I like the Bosie injection because we seem to be seriously mineral deficient on our land. We do live on an old crop field. It was tobacco, and so basically everything has been farmed out of it. We are working on that, but we do what we have to do in the time being. I'm going to start with the little boy. He was born first, half an ml for standard size kids. Now these are mini La Manchas, but Farrell, who's the sire, is 70% La Mancha. Elvis is 100% La Mancha. So these kids are 90% La Mancha. I'm giving them the standard kid dose. This can go either intramuscular or subcutaneously. Doesn't really matter. Now, because they haven't gotten up, they also haven't nursed, which is very, very important. Elvis has a teat sticking out right here. I have this bottle that I got from Hamby Dairy Supply. It's nice. It has this filler top up here, which is large, so it's good if you're going to be feeding milk replacer or if you're going to be milking straight into the bottle, which is what I'm going to do. I hear coyotes. It's coyote breeding season. I know, I'm going to feed this to your baby. I know. Goodness, he seemed really eager for that once that started flowing. Was that yummy? He does seem a little bit I don't know if something neurological is up with him because he kind of leans off to one side. Oh, gracious. See that? He didn't have any stress at birth. There was no meconium. She seemed to deliver him fine. But he keeps falling like to this side. Oop. Look at him stand. He is looking for the teat. Mommy, I think you need to stand up. We need to do this like the usual way. There we go. That makes me happy. He's standing relatively straight. He's probably leaning on her a little. Here's a little girl. I've had her under the heat lamp. But if you're ever trying to bottle feed a baby, you want to make sure that they are warm enough. You put your finger in their mouth, and if it feels warm, then you can feed them. Otherwise, their sucking reflex can be just really not that active, and you can kind of harm them by trying to make them drink. They may not get it right, and they could aspirate. Okay, if they're not warm enough. Sorry, I hope that came out okay. Oh, I like these bottles, but they've got this like flow regulator, and they have to suck. There we go. These are supposed to be really good for dam-raised babies to help with nipple confusion, especially if you're going the opposite direction. You're going from a kid that has been dam-raised to trying to stick them on a bottle. She's never had a teat before, but she will. This is just for now. Hey. There we go. Stand up. There, that's good. He just sort of flops over and looks at the sky like, I guess this is my life. I've never seen that before. There, they're standing way better. Her too. I don't know if selenium kicks in that fast. Elsa, what are you doing? I think it's been 2 or 3 hours since Elpis delivered her babies. They're doing well in the kidding stall. And Elsa has started pushing. So Elsa, this is her 3rd freshen. It's her first freshen here on my farm. Previously, her babies have been massive. Elsa's a very big goat. She's a huge La Mancha. She's a standard La Mancha. And she has previously been bred back to standard La Manchas, and her babies would be between 9 and 12 pounds and very hard to deliver. She's only ever had bucks. Her udder has been bigger. Now, sometimes their udder doesn't fully fill up until a couple days after they kid, so she still could gain some udder, but I'm thinking you might have some does in there. We do have a nosy cat. Are you coming in? She might not tolerate that well. But as you can see, she's got some goo. She's been doing well. I think we'll have babies pretty soon. It's a really nice day. She's been obsessively licking at her sides. Are you getting your liquor ready? Yeah. Are you ready to actually lick the baby? Can you push it out? It's not tiny. It's not huge. There. That's a chamois. How pretty.
There's already another bubble.
Yep. It's a buck. Gorgeous. sorry, Mama. Just trying to see what else we got going on. Yeah, that's a baby bubble. Hey, let's take him over this way. I have both feet now. There we go, good girl. Yeah, hi. Woof. Welcome to the world. Another buck. Well, that would be hilarious if that was all. Elsa is so big and deep that any progress she makes with pushing, as soon as she's done, the baby just sucks right back into her depth. And so you are going to see me glove up. I don't normally do this because I don't normally have to go all the way down into the uterus. Superficially being in the vaginal area really doesn't require gloves as far as contamination for the doe, but if you have to go deeper, you really do want to glove up. So just gonna see if we can fish this third baby out. Try to work with her pushes. I do feel 1 foot when I go in there, but I want to make sure the head's not in a weird way. It's hard for me to feel what's going on when I have gloves on. I hate wearing gloves. Okay, I'm sorry. So I've got the foot. I'm just going to hold on to it so it doesn't go anywhere. Because as she gets distracted with licking off her baby, the other one just goes whoop, straight back. Good girl. Oh. Hold on, this one's got its head tucked down. She's so big that it's very easy to help. Okay. There we go, I got it. Good. This is better. Much better. There we go. Chimose for days. Look at that. Hi, baby. All right. You are little. You want that one too? And that one is our doe. All right. Let's just shake it out. I know. She's just gasping a little bit. It's not bad. Yeah, let's just, we're working with gravity. You're okay. Just kind of doing this weird open mouth pant. Potentially Having a little bit of a hard time getting air. I've already done the sucky on her, but I'm gonna do it again just to see. She's standing. Was that it? Was that in your way? She's good. Here. I think my box is not big enough. Let's see. Are you gonna stay in it? Are you gonna stay? Hang on. Okay, we're almost there. We're almost there. One more. Look at this box of babies. What a dream come true, huh? So these are the 6 babies that were born in this video. So over the last couple of days, I wanted to show them to you up close as I do. Sometimes it's hard to see them, especially when they're born at night and the lighting is super bad. And it's always nice to see them when they're fully dried off and super active. So the first baby born was this little girl right here. This here is Breezy's little girl. She looks a lot like the other polled buckskin that was born out of her sister Alara, except for this little girl is a little bit bigger. She was a single and she has the gopher ears. Ultimately, for breed standard with mini La Manchas, gopher ear is what you're looking for, so it's always nice when that comes up. You can only get gopher ear if one of the parents is gopher ear, and her daddy Pharaoh has the gopher ears. She's big and adorable and already has a home. I guess we can continue to go in the order that they were born. This is Elpis's buckling. Oh, he's the biggest out of all the babies that we had born, but it makes sense. He's 90% La Mancha. He's gold, gorgeous, and he has the wattles. Oh, goodness. See these little things here on his neck? Those are wattles. Elpis has wattles. I love the look of them. He also has gopher ears, and he's a big one. Super adorable. Love him. He is going to be part of our meat program because I don't love Elpis's udder as far as milkability goes, so I don't necessarily want to pass that on. The combination of her and Feral really might create a really great udder. We did get some great udders out of Elpis's triplets. I'm so happy with them. Their sire Havoc did a great job softening up her udder and making those udders very easy to milk. But I don't know for sure what the combination of Elpis and Feral does quite yet. We will get to know because I am going to keep this little girl out of Elpis and Feral. We've had a couple Swiss babies born. They've all been boys. This is the first Swiss doe, and she has the wattles too. She's definitely going to stay. She's quite mouthy. I haven't come up with a name for her yet, but a name like a Banshee is not off the table. She is loud and gorgeous and strong. These babies did really well. I don't know if the selenium is what did it or if they just needed to have gotten a little bit older and a little bit stronger. They did come quite fast, especially in comparison to Elsa's babies, who took a little while. Elsa got pretty distracted with cleaning off her babies. Sometimes they can just get to licking and licking and licking and kind of stall out their labor just by being distracted. And so her labor took a little while. I know that doesn't translate well on camera, but this was actually baby number 2 that came out of Elsa. These are blue cactus babies. Blue cactus Nefarious is their sire. So he's a Nigerian dwarf, and obviously Elsa is a La Mancha. And when you have that combo, you're always going to get these little elf ears. They look like little bat wings. There's a tiny bit of cartilage in there. And so they've all got the elf ears, gorgeous babies. Half Nigerian dwarf, half La Mancha. This is buckling number 2. He's gorgeous. They're all Chamoisés. He's got this like band of white on him. And this is baby number 1, came out first. He's a solid Chamoisé, pretty dark coloration. I really like him. I want to keep a buck out of Elsa, and this little guy just may be it. So pretty. We'll have to see. I kind of want to see how they unfold and figure out which one I want to keep, but I like this guy as far as coloration goes. And this here is Elsa's little doeling. So this is only the second doeling that we've gotten out of our blue cactus Nefarious, and she's definitely going to stay. Adding him into our mini La Mancha program was the dream when I bought him. I do have Nigerian dwarves that I do breed in like spring and summer so that they can kid in fall time, so we can have access to fresh milk over the fall and winter. So he's good for that too, but this was the real reason I bought him. Really excited to freshen her at some point. Because they are triplets and I will leave them on her, Elsa has plenty of milk. I do not have any doubts that she'll be able to feed them all. But I might not be able to breed her super quickly. She might have to kid in her 2nd year. So it could be a while before we see this udder, but it'll be worth the wait, won't it? So she's a lighter Chamoisé just like her mommy. A tiny bit of white. She's got white on her pole. She's got white on her side. She's a pretty girl. I don't have a name yet for her either. Yeah. Oof, thank you. That was a good kiss. That was an accident. So that actually isn't the end of our kidding season, but it is the end of what I've been calling kidding palooza. We had 8 does due within the span of 8 days, and they all did deliver in the span of that 8 days. And it was a relatively calm kidding. We only had one that was kind of scary. That was Shindy's. We do have a standard La Mancha Clover and standard La Mancha Talia, who are both due with Nigerian dwarf buck Mooch's babies at the end of this month. I think Clover's due the 28th of February, and then Talia is due March 1st. They actually were in heat at the same time that all these other mamas were bred, and I decidedly did not give Mooch his booster in order to reach his ladies because I didn't want all 10 to be due during this week, and I do not regret that. So there's a little bit of a gap in between just because of that, but kidding season will commence in about 3 weeks, but until then I've got a lot to do in the garden and things, so there will be plenty of content here on the channel for you guys, homesteading stuff. This is just part of it. The goats are a big part of it this time of year, but it's only a fraction of what we do here. If you want to get caught up on all of the kiddings that we've had this year, last year, and in the years prior, I do have the list of the kidding playlist down below. I'll put that there as well as the most recent one up here. I'll see you guys again soon.